Justice League Dark issue 23. Ram V writing, Kyle Hotz on the art.
So we pick up where we were last time, dealing with the parliaments of life. Just trying to convene that. We got a good chunk of fight sequences first that we got. Wonder Woman, Animal Man, and Bobo kind of versus Arcane.
Mm-hmm.
Zatanna's out for the count from last issue, and Constantine's kind of trying to look after her during the fight.
Right. Yeah, because as this issue shows, Zatanna's a bigger player in this than we ever imagined.
Yeah.
That it's almost personal at this point now. And that she was kind of condemned from the start, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
Basically, the parliaments have to reconvene because they're out of balance, and that's what's causing all these problems. And anytime they're out of balance, so they found out that the flowers have taken over the Parliament of the Trees because of Floronic Man, and so they get Constantine to do Constantine things.
This is actually the most traditional Constantine thing I've read in current continuity in a long time.
From what I understand of the character and how he relates to Swamp Thing, this almost feels like this could have happened in the Alan Moore era, in the Vertigo Swamp Thing era.
Definitely.
Right?
Honestly, even the way Kyle Hodge draws Constantine feels very classic.
Well,
it feels different in a way that he usually feels a lot cleaner than this now, I think.
Yeah, and we're getting ahead because it also felt like traditional Swamp Thing. Not that Swamp Thing up to this point hadn't been, but there was a different vibe to him. This one felt like you could definitely tell it's from that era.
It's the monster.
So they go around and they go to that cave where they met with the elementals, and it seems like the elementals are on the side of fate, and they all agree that each of the avatars will give up their power momentarily so they can get back into balance. And so Fate's holding this big tablet, and it's super I don't want to say metal and that what's going on with the event, but it looks like an album cover of him holding that tablet
up with
the energy coming from it, right? And so Animal Man gives his connection to the red, and they're going through.
They make Floronic Man go first,
right? And when they do that, they separate Floronic Man from the green, and it allows Constantine to do its Constantine bits, which is to jump in to himself, right?
When instead of Abby giving up the rot, she kind of channels her power outwards instead, and kind of absorbs little hint of the green and the red that are in there.
Right, but it also takes out the Parliament of Flowers. She uses the rot to fully attack because they don't have an avatar. There's no defense from the rot, which allows Constantine to go into the rot.
Yes,
right?
And he picks
and pull out a seed.
The seed of what's left.
Right, and then we find out that Alec Holland died, and all that's left is the husk, which cracks me up because my understanding of Swamp Thing was they brought him back where under the Vertigo Swamp Thing, he was just the memories of Alec Holland. Alec Holland died in the swamp in the green or whatever.
Yeah, that was kind of the early stuff of Moore's run. That was kind of the formation of that.
Right. And then when they brought him back post Brightest Day, Blackest Night in there, he was Alec Holland again. And he was this avatar that had to be rooted in humanity a bit, so the green didn't take full control. Yet now when the stuff with the Upside Down Man and the Dark, the Injustice League Dark happened, it killed Alec Holland. He's gone. So now that's all that's left is this husk that now has Alec's memories. And Constantine is able to bring him out and essentially regrow him with help from the Parliament, right?
Yeah.
And it reestablishes the Parliament of Trees. And
it's worth noting as well. This was Constantine's plan, along with Abby. She knew about it, but the rest of the team didn't know about his plan. They thought they were going along with let's create balance and go for it like this. The Parliament of Flowers, Floronic Man will get his powers back like everyone else.
Right. which doesn't, and so then that causes problems with the other parliaments, like that they were double crossed. But then when they see Swamp Thing come out of there, and the Parliament of Trees retake the place of the Parliament of Flowers, it all kind of goes according to plan.
Yeah, but and the rest of the team don't trust John anymore. He's like, no, he can't
gone.
be trusted. He's back to being shady Constantine bollocks.
Mm-hmm. Right,
which
but for greater good and all that. Right, greater good and all that. He always say what you will about Constantine. He is about the greater good most of the time. Sometimes the greater good's himself.
Yes, it's the greater good until his own life's on the line, usually.
Right, and then it's and so Abby's fine with this now. This is kind of Alec, but not really. But Swamp Thing's back with the team, and then we see Zatanna. I have
Dreaming. And she's had the rot inside, so it's been kind of killing her from the inside out. She's been kind of infected, but this has cleared her now with what we've been doing. But she kind of has memories of what happened in there and a dream of it, and she sees the upside down man.
Yeah, so basically, she's dreaming. She remembers the black infecting her mind. In her dream, she drowns in the ocean. There's nothing but darkness as far as the eye can see. And then you see just the ghastly mouth of the upside down man. You just go, the trouble with drowning in darkness is that you never quite know which way is up, and it's upside down. And it's almost as if you remember the stuff with Hecate being the shadow form.
Yeah, your mic's going. Yeah, it is very similar to that in the other world's illusion and the images.
That's where the upside down man came from, right?
Yeah.
It was the dark reflection of Hecate, that this was, magic in its darkest form. Now that he's, coming across Zatanna, it's almost as if they're the alternate.
Yeah, because the way this final page, the image is framed, is it's like upside down man is standing on a puddle, but on the underneath of the puddle, the reflection is Zatanna.
Right.
It's a gorgeous image.
Which I was getting at, where she is almost like this has been her. It's almost personal now for the upside down man. What happened with her father is that now he has targeted her, and almost as like because what's her name? Cersei is still the goddess of magic, right?
Yes.
It's almost as if he needs an avatar, and just with everything that had happened with this, having the parliaments rebalanced. And, kind of there's more order to the magic going forward. It's almost as if he needs someone, and now he's targeted Zatanna. And again, I could be completely off, but that's where
I think that's an interesting way of reading it for sure. And you could be right.
So, but we'll see. But no, this issue, it's, this book and Hawkman have both been surprises where they've been really consistent. Like outside of the Wonder Woman, what was that? The Witching Hour. That was a bit messy.
Yeah.
Justice League Dark's been really consistent, and the stuff that it's doing with magic and building it down to.
It feels like one of those books that has benefited from going on for a long time. That it's really building its story, long form, because there's not like all these immediate payoffs. There's just a lot of little things that are creeping in really nicely. Yeah.
So I'm gonna rate this between the art, which is super shadowy and dark, and like you're saying,
really scratchy is what I'd use.
Yeah. And it feels like it is from that Vertigo era, and I feel like the stuff that at play here, that was intentional. But I'm going to give this an 8.5.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with 8.5. That's really good.